mean, do you ever just listen to the news and go, good God almighty? I mean, there's just so much to deal with. I got up this morning after a very long night of tossing and turning. If you watch Fox and Friends this morning or listen to my radio show, I told you that I was going to tell you about the FEMA camps or the FEMA prisons today. This is something that I snapped on the air because somebody called me up and said, why don't you talk about the FEMA prisons? And I said, can we just settle the FEMA prison thing? I don't believe in the FEMA prison. If you don't know, I'll tell you about it in a couple of days. I was going to talk about it today, but as I came in and did the show this morning, and then I went into my office and I was looking at all the research that had been compiled, and it wasn't complete. And I am not willing to bring something to you that's half-baked. If these things exist, that's bad, and we will cover it. If they don't exist, it's irresponsible to not debunk this story. We have an independent group on this program looking into it, turning over every stone. I am going to bring you this story. This program is not beholden. This is going to drive the conspiracy theorists crazy. Let me out. I have this. They're making me say this. Help. This program is not beholden to anybody. We answer to ourselves. I answer to me. I lost sleep last night worrying about this story, thinking about this story, and wanting to make sure that I got it right. The only thing that I answer to is myself, and I just want to be able to look at myself in the mirror and also sleep at night. The media covers lots of stories, but I don't think they ever put the pieces of them together. I mean, it is never ever know what anything means. All of the news is connected. It fits together. It fits together like a puzzle, and I want to show you tonight what it means. Put a first puzzle piece together. President Obama has dedicated $155 million to 126 community health centers. Next piece, Tom Coburn and the others are prepared to go to jail if the government repeals the Conscience Clause, which is it's considering doing. This involves protection for federally funded health care providers who object to procedures like abortion on moral grounds. Third piece. The government is moving to limit deductions from charitable giving from people who make over $250,000 a year. Charities are worried they're going to make even less money this year without it, let alone with it. It all adds up to government control. And that is what is really going on in our country. It's not about the stimulus. It's not about the bailout. It's not about solving problems. It's about controlling things. Joining me now is Congressman Ron Paul. Hello, Congressman. How are you, sir?
Hello, Glenn. Good to be with you.
Good to be with you. First of all, on the FEMA prison thing, I know we've been in contact with your office, and we would appreciate any help that you have. I want to make sure we're turning over every stone on anything, because there's a lot of crazy stuff that is being said about these things, and I appreciate you talking to us, and we'll be in touch with you again, because I want to make sure that we have everything that you might be concerned with as well. Will you help us on that, sir?
I don't think all the answers are in. You're concerned that there might be setting up these camps that verge on concentration camps. There's no evidence that I can find that they're actually set up. But I think there's a justified concern, not just because of the legislation that has been proposed, because that piece of legislation doesn't have a lot of co-sponsors. It's not on the verge of being passed. But the atmosphere in Washington is what we have to be concerned about.
Yes.
You know, since 9/11, dealing with the Patriot Act and repealing the Posse Comitatus and the Insurrection Act, these are trends that are very, very bad, where personal liberties and civil liberties are not well protected. And FEMA is already very, very powerful, and they overrule when they go in on emergencies. So in some ways, they can accomplish what you might be thinking about setting up camps. And they don't necessarily have to have legislation, you know, to do the things that we dread. But it's something that's certainly deserves a lot of attention.
Right. And I want to make it very clear. I'm not fearing these things are happening. I want to set the record straight, because we've got to know what we can believe in. Now,
I'm not a crook.